laughed when he warned them. They called him insane. But he built his command post in the back of a van. We need a tinfoil hero with a shortwave radio. He's gotta fight the shadow men where ordinary people fear to go. We need a tinfoil hero with the truth burned in his eyes. He's gonna save the whole damn world from the lizards in disguise. Oh.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Common Anomaly podcast. I'm your host, Stuart James. Joining me today is Clayton James. You're listening to Season 3, Episode 16. How's it going, brother?
It's going really good today.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I'm trying to be optimistic. Actually, it's been a terrible week. You know, you look outside and it looks overcast out, and none of it's actually clouds. It's all smoke.
Yeah.
And you step outside and it's just this smoky inferno outside.
Yeah, and it's I've like plus 30 degrees.
I've just felt awful all week. You go
Yeah.
outside for 5 minutes, you feel like you can't breathe, your chest hurts, your head hurts, and you're just sweaty all the time and you can't sleep, and it's just been like a really gross week.
It's the dog days of summer, let's say.
And it happens every year now.
Yeah, every year. No,
for
it's
like
pretty
the past
hazy
10
outside.
years.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. But we've got a fun episode lined up for today. So today we're doing something a little different. This is going to be our summer vacation conspiracy episode.
Yep.
A bit of a palate cleanser, just fun, wacky conspiracy theories, stuff that we don't often talk about on the show. I mean, I guess we cover the odd conspiracy theory here and there, stuff you could call conspiracy theories. But we just wanted to have fun with it today and just really go out there and talk about some of the really fun ones, which I actually found was really more difficult than I thought, because so many conspiracies get really dark and disturbing very quickly.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of work actually just to find the fun stuff. But I think I got some good stuff. Like I've got a ton of launching off points, and I know you do too. So we're just gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah. I think I originally pitched this to you because, you know, there are things we come across, you know, as we're trying to research material for the show that for one reason or another we just decide it's not a good idea to talk about.
Yeah.
In that spirit, the following people are actually lizard people. I'm just kidding. I don't have a list.
No, that's important. That's important. You reminded me, because I wanted to make sure we put a caveat on this, that we are just simply covering these topics. We don't necessarily endorse or believe any of the topics we're about to discuss. It's purely for entertainment purposes.
Actually, I've got one here that I can kind of get behind. Kind of.
Just one, eh?
Yeah.
I have at least two or three.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you which. Or maybe I will. We'll see how it goes. So I know I've got a big list here of crazy stuff. You got a big list of crazy stuff. Like, where do you want to start?
Well, you know, I'm going to be heading on vacation in a few weeks down to the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And I was realizing as I was looking through this list of conspiracies that I am in for a very interesting vacation. My journey will start when I land at the Denver International Airport.
Ah, perfect.
It is theorized that the airport itself is a front. It is actually a headquarters for the New World Order. It's a secret underground base. All the elites of the world, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, that crowd, the Bohemian Club, that's going to be where they meet. That seems to be a very popular theory. Where does it come from? Well, I mean, it starts right outside the airport. There's a giant, very, very creepy looking sculpture right out front of the airport. It's called the Blue Mustang, or commonly referred to as Blucifer. This giant blue horse with glowing red eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, during its construction, the sculptor who created this died during its construction. A piece of it broke off and crushed him. kind of got a dark history there. But it's just a very creepy looking sculpture with its glowing red eyes. It's just got this air of evil to it.
Totally. Well, and I know there's all these stories connected to a lot of the artwork around the facility itself as well.
Yeah, there are these murals. It's actually often said it's 4 murals. It's actually 2. It's just divided into 4 panels. Prominently displayed in the airport that seemingly depict the apocalypse. They're very dark. It's got like images of children in coffins and soldiers in gas masks and supposedly depicts the apocalypse. The 2 murals are actually called Children of the World's Dream of Peace is the name of one. In Peace and Harmony with Nature is the name of the other. And it's stated what these murals are supposedly depicting is the children of the world overcoming all the darker forces in the world. There's this apocalyptic imagery in the mural, but that's only part of the mural. It fades into this much brighter, more inspiring imagery as the mural keeps going.
So I'm guessing the idea there is it's depicting what our near future will be.
Yeah.
The inevitable apocalypse, and then kind of a golden era that maybe proceeds after the destruction, correct?
Yeah, people have kind of looked at this apocalyptic imagery. What else? There's just a lot of weird stuff in that airport. Like at the baggage claim area, along the walls in the baggage claim area, there are these stone gargoyles.
Yeah.
Like these very elaborate, demonic-looking sculptures just built into the wall. Stated reason for that is, medieval times, putting a gargoyle on a building was supposed to protect the building.
Yeah.
So by installing those, they're symbolically protecting your luggage,
Right.
But still, you look at pictures of them. I mean, I walk by them every time I'm in Denver airport. They're very creepy looking.
Yeah, well, and it's not like, gargoyles have been around in old world architecture for a long time. You don't often see them in modern airports.
Yeah.
It's very out of place.
And there's also the strange fact that the layout of the runways at the Denver airport, look at it from the air or just pull it up on Google Maps, the runways form the shape of a swastika.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, totally. They do.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You've looked this up?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been to that airport many times.
I'm going to have to check that out.
You can see it from the approach coming to the airport.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
I've seen all kinds of stuff where people get really granular and break down how many tons of concrete were used in the construction and how it's supposedly really disproportionate to the size of the facility and how there must be this huge underground megaworks.
Well, there is a lot underground at the Denver airport because, even when you go through the airport, pass through security, you're on your way to, I believe, 3 terminals, A, B, and C terminal. This is a massive, sprawling airport, and you can walk to these terminals on foot over like an elevated walkway, but it's like a 20-minute walk between these terminals. So usually what you do is you go below ground and take this little train to the different terminals, which I do. Like, I get on the little train and go through this little underground subway network to get where you're going. But people have said, does it end there? Because the Denver airport is built on a much larger piece of land than is really needed for the airport.
Yeah.
It's not in Denver proper. It's well outside of Denver on this massive piece of land.
Yeah.
The Denver airport is mostly just surrounded by empty space. People say, well, why was it built on such a big piece of land? Plus, there's all this underground infrastructure. What's going on there? And the other thing people point to is there's this really mysterious plaque in the airport. It says, dedicated by New World Airport Commission.
Okay.
And people are like, what is that? The New World Airport Commission. The New World Order. That's it. That's them. This is where they've got their secret headquarters.
Well,
in actuality, the New World Airport Commission was an actual organization. It was like this short-lived fundraising organization, raised all the funding for the airport's grand opening festivities.
Yeah.
And this plaque was laid with the help of the local Masonic Lodge in Denver. Also doesn't look very good if you're trying to downplay all the New World Order stuff.
Only if you believe everything about the Freemasons that you hear.
And you heard it here first. Anyway.
Do you want to hear about Phil Schneider? Do you know about Phil Schneider?
Phil Schneider, I'm not sure who that is.
He's a whistleblower that supposedly worked for a construction company, I forget. But he's someone who's come forward as a whistleblower to suggest that there's this entire network of underground facilities all around the world. They're referred to as DUMBs, which is deep underground military bases. Mm-hmm. The Denver airport is just one of these nodes. And that while he was working in one of these facilities, he actually just was in a corridor and happened across a group of alien greys. Just wandering through. There was other people around. There was military around. You know, he didn't expect this. He didn't expect to see this. And he had a sidearm on him. Mm-hmm. And he just pulled out his gun and just mag dumped, just unloaded his magazine at these aliens. And he shot 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
And I guess one of them calmly waved its hand over its chest, and all of a sudden he was struck by some kind of energy weapon. He said it was like a blue flash that just cut him open and filleted him like a fish. And he had his hand up over his chest and it actually severed like his thumb and 3 of his fingers off his hand, which he has the injuries on his hand to prove it, and I guess the scar across his chest. This is going way back. This guy actually, I think he died in 1996 under also mysterious circumstances.
I see.
But he's a famous whistleblower, that one of the first people to popularize this idea that there's this massive underground network of DUMBs. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Is Denver just like the biggest one? Is that the primary node alpha?
It's the primary entry point for all the VIPs to go when SHIT hits the fan.
Yeah.
Project Bluebeam begins.
That's right.
You know, or the nuclear war begins, or the engineered plague, or whatever's going to happen. Whatever they've got in store for us.
The demon drone invasion.
Yes, that's where they're going to go to hide underground and wait it out. I don't know. I've been on the little underground train in Denver. I don't know how far it goes. You know, I've only been in the official part, but it is a huge piece of land.
Totally.
A lot could be going on there. Anyway, upon arrival at the Denver International Airport, drive to Wyoming, which is a place that does not exist.
It doesn't?
Supposedly.
Oh, is that a conspiracy theory that Wyoming
yes,
doesn't
actually
exist?
it is. That Wyoming, the state in the U.S., does not actually exist. It is not a real place. People point this out because it is unusually empty and perfectly square. And perfect squares do not exist in nature.
Well, no, but on maps...
The logic of this goes, have you ever visited Wyoming?
No, I've not.
Do you know anyone from Wyoming? That's the thing in the city, because Wyoming is so sparsely populated. It became this like ongoing joke. Have you met anyone from Wyoming, actually? Have you ever been there?
No, that makes sense, because most people will be like, come to think of it, no, because if it's so sparsely populated. Yeah. I see.
This theory goes, again, it's unusually empty. The entire area could be a secret federal testing facility for like working on UFOs and stuff. Drivers entering Wyoming from neighboring states are actually redirected or drugged and taken to some other place in a neighboring state. State officials are actually paid actors.
Well, wait a minute. So you reached the border of Wyoming, and you're intercepted, drugged, and taken somewhere else.
Yeah.
To believe you're in Wyoming.
Yes.
So what's inside the border you just rocked up to?
That's the secret federal testing ground where they're working on the UFOs.
So Wyoming does exist. It's just not a state.
Yes, but not as a state as we know it.
It's a massive UFO testing ground. I see.
It's just the whole square empty area on the map is like a secret government black site.
I don't know, man. That seems like a lot of effort.
Yes, it does. It's more of a joke than like a serious theory. It's a joke totally. People make, and even like the Wyoming state officials, they will play into this joke. Yeah. People will jokingly ask them this, and they'll say, "I'm actually in a bunker outside Washington D.C." But it's just this running silly joke. They even sell T-shirts there that just say "Wyoming isn't real." But yes, I'm traveling from the Denver International Airport to Wyoming, a state that, in theory, does not actually exist.
Well, now I feel like I really got to go and check it out for myself.
Well, you should. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, so you say.
Been there many times.
Okay.
I love it.
So that's your vacation.
Yes, and while I am in Wyoming, I will be in Wyoming the week of August 12th. Do you know what's supposed to happen on August 12th of this year?
Our next episode, which now I'm realizing I'm going to be solo for.
Okay, the other thing that's going to happen on August 12th of this year.
This is the gravity thing.
So, intersecting gravity waves. There'll be 2 gravity waves from 2 collapsing black holes, and these gravity waves will intersect at Earth briefly on August 12th, causing at, I think, 8:33 a.m. our time, the Earth to completely lose gravity for 7 seconds.
Right, because the intersecting gravity waves will cancel out Earth's gravity. Is that the idea?
Yes. NASA
This
has
is
known
this
about,
year or next
yes,
year?
This is this year.
This year.
This is
so 2 weeks from now.
2.5 weeks from now.
So a week from when people are hearing this episode.
Yes.
Oh, get your affairs in order, people.
Yes, and you think Earth losing gravity for just 7 seconds. Think about it. Every vehicle traveling at high speed on a road is going to lose control. Like every road on the planet will just be littered with wrecked vehicles. Not only will billions of people die instantly, but society will entirely shut down. None of our infrastructure will be usable anymore. We'll be sent back to the Stone Age. Anyone who survives these 7 seconds will be sent back to the Stone Age. And NASA has known about this for years and quietly preparing underground bunkers for, the VIPs to ride this out.
It's Y2K all over again.
Yeah.
or for the first time.
Yeah, so 8:33 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
On August 12th. Yeah, the government's been quietly preparing for this for years. They've spent $89 billion preparing for this. It's called Project Anchor. The plan to save, it's the continuity of government plan for when this happens.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll book it off work.
You'll be at work.
Just chain myself to like a
hold
lamppost or something.
Yeah, hold on to
so
your
I don't
desk
float away
at 8:33 a.m.
But won't my desk just float away? Like, you really need to be to something that's like tied down to the ground.
You need to tie stuff down.
Yeah, like a fire hydrant or something.
Well, you got a few weeks to get ready.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a crazy vacation.
So that happens while you're away. So you have to be careful. You don't want to be on the plane. Or I suppose, wouldn't the plane be an all right place to be?
It would probably fly off course.
Yeah, but then after 7 seconds...
It'd still be in the air.
It'd be in the air, right? Yeah. So the plane should be able to recover, right?
But once it lands, what kind of world are those people going to find when they land?
I don't know. Sounds like the premise of a TV series by J.J. Abrams.
Kind of reminds me of that movie, that Stephen King movie.
Oh, no, not Tommy.
The Langoliers.
Langoliers,
The Langoliers. That was a good one.
Yeah, I like the Langoliers.
Yeah, I like that. Anyway, that's going to be my vacation. I am actually going to do something really fun for the show on my vacation. I'm going to do a bit of field work. I'm going to come back with some really exciting audio. If all goes well, potentially an interview. So look forward to that.
No spoilers.
More on that later.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention. I really wanted to say at the beginning to hook people that I've got a really fun conspiracy theory to save for the end about a certain famous filmmaker.
Is it Stanley Kubrick?
No. We'll see. If people hang on to the end, maybe you'll get that. I should have mentioned that we got to work on our hook, You
shouldn't be saying these things in the episode.
Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Well, that's really good. That covers your vacation. Your vacation is full of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
So what else you got? I had a huge theme of famous people, of a celebrity.
Oh, I've got some celebrity
theories.
stuff. Would you like to begin with the celebrities, or shall I?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you where I'll start is I need to actually issue a correction of something I said in a prior episode. I think it was the Kincaid episode. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about, I don't know how we got there, but I was talking about Billy Corgan at the end, from the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins. And I think I said something that he had said in an interview about seeing shadow people. Mm-hmm. That was wrong. I actually found that interview again. It was while they were doing a performance on the Howard Stern show. And what he actually said is that he saw someone shapeshift, not shadow people, and that he saw the same person. It happened to the same person twice. Mm-hmm. And that he saw someone, their face and body change form into something else.
Did Billy Corgan email you to correct you?
No. I just happened in my research this week to
Okay.
find the interview again, and I realized I'd made a mistake back in that other episode when I said that, because I didn't remember it properly. But that's the actual story. That he
Okay.
saw someone shapeshift.
I've never seen it. I guess
Like
I've been
they're a
fortunate.
lizard person or something.
When we go into Wyoming, we're actually drugged and redirected somewhere else. The real Wyoming shapeshift. That's where they keep the shape-shifting reptiles.
Is that Area 52? Is just Wyoming?
Oh,
If
that's
Wyoming-
Area 53.
I don't know how we're back on this, but if Wyoming is fake, then Saskatchewan is definitely fake. Because it's much bigger. And it's also a square.
Yeah,
Or more
and I've
rectangle.
never been there. Have you?
I've never been there.
Do you know anyone from Saskatchewan?
Not in real life. Actually, no. I do know one person. But he's sketchy as all hell.
Okay. So for our next field trip, we're going to try and find Saskatchewan.
Okay, but we're celebrity. You got some celebrity conspiracy theories for us.
Well, I have
What's
one.
your pick your favorite one? What's your favorite celebrity conspiracy theory?
Okay, so this one has to do with Alex Jones, the famous conspiracy theorist, or infamous
Yeah.
conspiracy theorist.
Totally.
Rather. So there's actually one conspiracy theory out there that Alex Jones does not want you to believe, but it won't go away. It has haunted Alex Jones for probably the past 30 years. In that
Interesting.
Alex Jones is actually the comedian Bill Hicks. For people that don't know, Bill Hicks, he was kind of a up-and-coming comedian. He was big in the Austin, Texas scene in the late 80s and early 90s. He's often compared to George Carlin
Okay.
in that they both would go on these very long counterculture monologues talking about the elites that really run the world.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like Alex Jones. Anyway, Bill Hicks, in 1993, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And he passed away in 1994 at the age of 32. Kind of really as his career was just taking off.
Okay.
Now, Bill Hicks, along with his friend Kevin Booth, who was a producer, they founded this alternative media company called Sacred Cow Productions.
Yeah.
Now, after the death of Bill Hicks, Kevin Booth, he keeps running Sacred Cow Productions, and he begins working with this young man from Austin who had just started in the Austin public access television scene. You know, before we had YouTube, we had public access television.
Yeah.
Young man by the name of Alex Jones, who had a lot to say about government corruptions and the elites that really run the world. Kevin Booth begins working with Alex Jones, works with him on some of his early films, begins distributing Alex Jones's earlier work. The theory is that Bill Hicks faked his death. And Alex Jones is just a character that Bill Hicks created. He didn't die. He just kind of changed genres. He changed from, expressing these things in the form of a comedy act to actually going on public access television, hosting a radio show, making documentaries. It's sort of believable because you look at these two men, there's a striking resemblance to them.
Right.
Like a very striking resemblance. Especially if you look at them at that time in the early 90s. You look at, not Alex Jones now,
Yeah.
much later. He's gained
yeah.
a lot of weight. He's gone bald. He's grown a beard. But
Yeah.
look
But
at,
if you look at Bill Hicks then
Yeah.
and Alex Jones then,
look at
Yeah.
those two men at that same time period in the early 90s.
right.
They look almost identical. They sound almost identical, except Alex Jones has very prominent Texan accent. Bill Hicks wasn't actually from Texas. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas. But their voices sound nearly identical. They look nearly identical. And
Okay.
it's a little odd that Bill Hicks dies, and just months later, Alex Jones launches his career, working with the same producer.
Right. Wow. I don't know this one, but maybe you can fill in the blanks for me a little bit. Is there any reason in Bill Hicks' life where he would have wanted to fake his death? Like to get out of trouble? Did he have a lot of debt or something like that?
Not that I know of. No. That's the one thing I can't figure out.
Or we need to look, does Alex
the
Jones
motive.
have, what about records about Alex Jones's life history before?
Alex Jones has kind of an actual life story. There's pictures of him from his childhood.
Yeah.
There's people who have known him his whole life. All could have been fabricated.
Right. I
All
guess.
of that could have been fabricated. The only reasoning I could think, like, what would motivate this? Bill Hicks, him and Alex Jones have some parallels in their ideology.
Yeah.
But they're not an exact match. They both kind of rail against, the elites really in control of the world and government corruption. But Bill Hicks is definitely more left-leaning in his politics.
Okay.
He often mocked, Christian conservatism. He mocked American gun culture. He's definitely more liberal. Whereas Alex Jones, he considers himself a Christian conservative.
Yeah.
And he's a huge gun rights advocate. Maybe Bill Hicks, something changed in him. Maybe something changed in his ideology. And he felt like he had to reinvent himself.
Right. Well, and I know, like, Alex Jones has had a lot of mental health struggles and addiction struggles in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as did Bill Hicks. He would often
Right.
say in his comedy routines that he had been a user of recreational drugs.
yeah. So, I mean, we're just speculating here, but perhaps that indicates a certain degree of mental instability where deciding to all of a sudden invent a new identity for yourself is not such a huge leap.
And Alex Jones
Interesting.
has actually addressed this directly many times, always denied it. During one broadcast, he actually said, okay, I'm going to admit it. This is really hard to do. I am Bill Hicks. But Alex Jones isn't the character that Bill Hicks created. Bill Hicks was a character that Alex Jones created. And he said
flip the table.
He said this like mockingly.
Yeah.
But people have taken that as kind of a confession.
Well, I've seen that as a bit of a theme. Whenever you're looking at any of the celebrity conspiracy theories, it's always either they faked their death or they've been replaced by someone else. Like, we just had the Jim Carrey stuff.
Yeah.
There's the whole celebrity clone thing with, I think, Kanye is in there. Dave Chappelle is another one. All supposedly, they disappear for a while and then somebody else comes back that's very similar but not quite them.
Yeah. And then there's the Paul McCartney one.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney supposedly, the story goes he got into a huge argument with John Lennon in the studio at some point in 1966. He storms off, he gets in his car, and he drives away and he crashes his car and he dies.
Yeah.
And after 1966, Paul McCartney gets replaced by this other fellow named Billy Shears.
Yeah, that's right.
And people have said that, the lyrics, Beatles songs from 1966 onward kind of allude to the fact that Paul McCartney has died. Paul McCartney is no longer with them. Even some of their album artwork is
the Sgt. Pepper's album cover art.
Yeah, it looks like a funeral.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney is very prominent on the cover, and even at the end of the opening track, introducing the one and only Billy Shears.
Yeah.
Immediately followed by the track with A Little Help from My Friends. People have interpreted as we're introducing the new Paul to the band and to the audience. Yeah. There's also the cover of Abbey Road, which people have interpreted that it's symbolically like a funeral procession for Paul.
Yeah.
Because you've got John Lennon there in white. He represents a priest. You've got Ringo in black. He represents the Undertaker. Then you've got Paul, who's walking barefoot, and his eyes are closed in the picture.
Right.
He represents, of course, the corpse. And then you've got George, and he's wearing denim. He's the grave digger.
Yeah.
It's also been pointed out that in this picture, Paul McCartney is holding a cigarette in his right hand. Paul McCartney is very famously left-handed. I don't think there's much to that. Cigarette smokers usually hold a cigarette with their non-dominant hand, so I don't think there's much to that.
Right.
But there's
or the image is inverted just because of how it was photographed. And I've also seen it said like that's the reason why the Beatles stopped touring very abruptly. Their official line was just the fans were too crazy and they couldn't even hear themselves play. Yeah. But the idea was that Billy Shears, like all the Beatles were approximately the same height, right? But Billy Shears was quite a bit taller than the rest of them. So they had to stop touring because they couldn't have him basically towering over the rest of the members of the band.
Yeah.
Because it would be too obvious. And there's a lot of stuff that came out about Paul McCartney's wife that eventually divorced him, saying how she discovered this big secret, and felt really betrayed. So there's a lot that plays into it. That's a really interesting one. But I'm glad you brought it up. That's actually probably my first conspiracy theory. I remember coming across that when I was really young, because I was a big Beatles fan, right from being pretty young. And I remember, shout out to our Aunt Christine, big Beatles fan when she was young, and had collected these scrapbooks. And she had gifted me these at some point. By the way, I still have those. They're very well kept, and I treasure them, Aunt Christine. And I remember being a kid and flipping through these scrapbooks that she had made. And they've got all these news articles and stuff about the Beatles. And I came across this tabloid article. It was probably one of the very early ones talking about that conspiracy theory. And it totally broke my heart because I totally adored the Beatles as a kid. And I was like, what? This totally blew my mind. And I'm reading the article. I was like, no way, this can't be true. Being younger, I totally just fell for it hook, line, and sinker. But then really didn't want it to be true, right? Because it was dispelling this image of these people I idolized, right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like... it's one of those theories that's kind of like the Denver airport, because you've got all this weird stuff, right? There's a very plausible explanation for all of these weird things.
Yeah, individually.
But you know, it is a lot of weird stuff stacked up with Paul McCartney. And it's almost believable because, in 1966, afterwards, you see this like radical change in Paul McCartney and, the Beatles overall in kind of their musical style, and just the way they made music was radically different.
Yeah.
That could be because they stopped touring and they were just
they
had unlimited time to be in the studio and could experiment with different things.
They got very experimental, And I mean, supposedly John was a huge driving force of the experimentation. But you would think if you suddenly have a totally different creative presence, which this person they brought in supposedly was a very talented musician in their own right, the fact that the band could even work together and function by just swapping someone out like that would be really difficult, I think.
And it would lead to a radically different sound.
Yeah. So, no, I've always found that one interesting.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's at all plausible?
Again, I have a lot of personal emotions tied into that particular conspiracy theory. I don't want to believe it. But it is, of all the different ones like that, I do find it one of the more compelling. And it has endured.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a lot of, like you say, just weird coincidences that line up to kind of point in that direction. Yeah. And there's always the classic Elvis didn't die. He got kidnapped by aliens or whatever. There's Michael Jackson, who apparently is still alive, also faked his death. And that one's an interesting one because, the famous story about him doing the Pepsi commercial and his hair catching fire, right?
I don't think I've heard that one.
No, you don't know about that?
No.
He was doing a commercial for Pepsi, and there was a pyrotechnics accident, and he was really badly burned. His hair caught on fire, and he had second and third degree burns on his body and on his face. And that's why you see his nose is messed up, because the idea is he had a prosthetic nose, because they had to actually amputate his nose. His face was so burned, and he would wear a prosthetic. So he was always caked in makeup and different things to hide his prostheses. And he's known, this is actual fact, that when he would go out into public, he would wear these really elaborate disguises. Like he would do, just like people on Star Trek or sci-fi series when they sit in a makeup chair for 6 hours to get dressed up to look like something completely different. He would do this. He'd have makeup artists completely change his appearance just so he could go out into public and blend in. And there's a lot of other stories of friends of his and celebrities, we're going to go out to the movies or what. He's like, how are we going to go to the movies in broad daylight? You're Michael Jackson. People are going to recognize you. And he'd show up to meet his friend and he would look completely different, like a completely different person.
Just like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you make about that? Do you think Michael's still out there? He's someone I can see who would want to disappear.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I struggle to disprove it, but I mean, I don't know. anything could be possible.
Yeah.
Anything could be possible.
Cool. Okay, what else you got?
Did you know birds aren't real?
Oh. Birds in traffic jams.
Yeah. Birds? No. Okay.
Right, they're all drones, right? They're all surveillance drones.
Check this out.
Birds don't exist.
Check it out. So in the second half of the 20th century, the government secretly killed billions of birds, gradually replaced them with robotic surveillance drones.
Okay, I'm going to question you immediately on this. I know this is not you saying this. You're just reporting on the theory. But why kill all real birds to just replace them? Why not just add fake birds amongst the real birds? Wouldn't that be a better way of hiding your conspiracy?
And there'd be too many birds.
How many
given away.
bird spies do you need to have out there?
It'd be given away.
It's more believable if real birds still exist. Don't you think?
Okay. Small city birds like pigeons,
Yeah.
magpies, those are urban surveillance units.
Okay.
But the bigger birds, your ravens, your eagles, those are specialized, military units.
Right.
Seagulls are harvesting your DNA.
Seagulls are.
Yeah, when they're digging through your garbage, pecking away at it, they're harvesting your DNA.
I don't have any seagulls digging through my garbage. We're not near a coast here.
If it flies, it spies.
Although
Bird watching goes both ways.
actually the only place I see seagulls is like in landfills. Right?
I see seagulls all the time.
And there's no water.
I don't live
near
near
the
a landfill. Like just walk through, like just walk down the street and walk through Crowfoot Crossing. You see seagulls all over the
I
place.
never see seagulls.
I'm constantly seeing seagulls.
I
specifically there.
I see pigeons all the time. We got a lot of pigeons around here.
I don't see pigeons anywhere around where I live.
No?
And I live pretty darn close to you.
We got pigeons
I get
all over the place
magpies
here.
a lot. I get blackbirds a lot.
Okay.
I get robins a lot.
So you've got the hard military surveillance where I just have the passive, what do you call it? urban surveillance drones.
Yeah, and right between where we live, the Crowfoot Crossing, that's where they harvest the DNA.
Okay, well, I'll tell you why this isn't entirely insane. Because there is a history of the military trying to disguise surveillance drones as insects or other animals, this sort of thing. That's out there. That's out there in the white world. There was I forget what it was called. It's like the dragonfly copter or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like a mini drone, a surveillance device made to look like a dragonfly. Mm-hmm. This is real. You can look this up.
Yeah.
That the CIA developed. Apparently they killed the project because it was too unwieldy. They couldn't control it well enough to get near their targets to actually get good audio, apparently. And have you heard, this brings me back to Acoustic Kitty. Have you heard of program Acoustic Kitty?
I have not.
No?
No.
That's a fun one. That's a Cold War CIA program in order to turn cats into spies. The idea was that they would implant listening devices in cats and that they would release them, out into the Kremlin or near KGB facilities and try to get them near their targets to covertly record audio. Apparently it was a big disaster. The dark part of it is the surgeries were really complicated and didn't go well for a lot of the animals. Mm-hmm. And the ones that did work, they did actually try and deploy this operation, but the cats would just wander off and chase birds or mice or whatever and not give a shit about their Russian targets.
Chasing the birds because the Russian cats, they're chasing the surveillance birds sent by the American government during the Cold War.
They're both. That's the CIA program. They're not Russian cats.
Oh, I thought
they were sent to spy on the Russians.
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe the CIA deployed both their pigeons and their cats at the same time. Their two drones canceled each other out.
Friendly fire.
Their drone cats took out the drone pigeons.
The whole bird conspiracy. There's actually a fun story of where this conspiracy comes from. This theory was created entirely by this young college student named Peter Mickendoe. This was in 2017. He was in Memphis, and he was walking. They were having this huge protest. They were protesting the inauguration of Donald Trump, the first one.
Okay, yep.
And
You mean his first presidency?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
the first Donald Trump? Was he cloned?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
There might be something to that. Anyway, they were having this protest, and a group of Trump supporters had set up a counter protest. This Peter Mcindoe, he thought he would have a little fun with these counter protesters, so he just made a sign and wandered into this counter protest, and he just wanted the sign to have like the most ridiculous statement he could think of.
Yeah.
So he just wrote "birds aren't real" on the sign,
Right.
and joined this protest.
Yeah.
And he was just making a joke.
Yeah.
But then the internet got a hold of it,
And it
he
just took
just
off.
ran with it. He created this whole mythology around it. He just ran with it, and he said openly, like, it's a joke. It's a performance art thing. I'm just having fun. But then the internet got a hold of it,
Totally,
and
yeah.
people latched onto it, and that's where we get this whole birds aren't
And
real
even him saying
conspiracy.
that, is not going to kill it.
No.
Once the snowball is heading downhill.
No, because he invites people to join him in this, and he's just trying to make some social commentary. He said he's trying to prove how convincing an absurd claim can sound when you wrap it in a lot of confidence and wrap it in slogans.
Yeah.
If it flies, it spies.
No, it's true. It's true. And I mean, this is why we love conspiracy theories. Like, the term conspiracy theory gets a lot of flack for being a hand wave to dismiss people. And, there's this meme that, if you're a believer in conspiracy theories, it's a sign of low IQ. Thing about that phrase that always bugs me is the word belief. It's like, yeah, if you believe anything at face value, whether it's a conspiracy theory or a religion or whatever the source of information is, if you just believe it when you hear it for the first time, yeah, that probably is a sign of low intelligence. But that doesn't mean because you're interested in alternative theories that you have lower intelligence. There's lots of examples of conspiracy theories that turn out to be true.
Yeah, I mean, we're having some fun today with conspiracy theories, and some of them are. There's conspiracy theories that are just ridiculous, like flat Earth theory.
Birds.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a
Birds are
conspiracy
fake.
by Big Globe to sell globes or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of actual history was once considered conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Until later on, it turned out, oh yes, that actually did happen. That actually was true.
Tuskegee.
We're going to
Edward
release
Snowden,
the documents
the
on
NSA.
that now that 80 years have passed.
Yeah.
And
Operation Northwoods.
Yeah.
Just to name a few.
Yeah.
So
Were once considered conspiracy theories, but turned out to be completely true.
Yeah. But anyway, we're actually running
Area
out of
51,
time
just
real
the
quick.
existence of Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Wasn't officially
Like
it wasn't officially
2013.
acknowledged.
Yeah, or something like that,
until
right?
like 2013.
Yeah. When was Independence Day released?
It's in the mid 90s.
Mid-90s,
Yeah.
right? So it was kind of even an open secret by then. It was in pop culture. I mean, Bob Lazar was a big part of that,
Yeah.
right? Okay, well, we're quickly running out of time. So is there anyone more you want to touch on? I wanted to talk about NPCs because I feel like there's
that sounds like fun.
there's a story behind that. For you and I doing some citizen science that predates this show. Do you remember this? A couple years back, we had this discussion about NPCs, and we actually did these surveys at our workplaces. Do you remember doing this? This is before we even did the show. So for people, NPC is a video game term that means non-player character. And so there's this conspiracy theory, quote unquote, that a lot of people you encounter in the real world are not actually sentient, conscious human beings. They're basically these NPCs, these bots, where there isn't really a mind operating them. They just run on a loop in order to create the illusion of a populated world around you. Mm-hmm. A few years back, I remember reading this article about how a certain percentage of people, I think a study had been done, that 80% of people did not experience an inner dialogue.
Yeah, I remember
Right?
that.
You remember this? So you know how you go through life and you kind of have a voice in your head of your subconscious, or maybe it's very present in your conscious kind of, and you talk to yourself basically.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people don't actually experience this. And so I thought that was curious, and I thought it tied into this idea of people being NPCs. Like, how could you not have an internal monologue? You know, that seems so bizarre to me. So I remember I created like a list of several survey questions and a chart, and I went and interviewed everyone at my work to see if I could see how many people reported having an inner dialogue or not. Do you remember? Did you do that as well?
I don't remember this survey.
I remember I sent you my results anyway.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. I actually found the inverse statistic where it was like 20% of people, at least in my limited, I think I talked to 30 people, and it worked out 20% reported not having an inner monologue, but 80% did.
That's still, I don't know. I can't imagine that. Hard to imagine. You know, it's something for me that is always present, and I can't imagine it not being there.
Yeah, you assume that's innate to everyone's human experience.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole idea of NPCs, people where, you know, they talk and act normally, but, you know, they have no actual inner subjective experience. They're basically like robots.
Yeah.
That's a very old idea.
They're running script.
Yeah, it's a very old idea. You know, in modern times we call them NPCs, but I think the original term was philosophical zombie.
Right.
You know, like a hypothetical person just responded to stimuli in a very convincing way, but there was no thought or inner experience going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying like AI, modern chatbots, are actually, that's what this is. It's a philosophical zombie. It can talk to you, and it feels like talking to a person almost.
Yeah.
You kind of forget you're talking to an artificial intelligence sometimes.
Yeah, but there's
It's
no
easy.
lights on behind.
But is the AI actually having like an inner experience, a subjective experience? Is it actually aware of its own existence? That's debatable right now as AI gets better and better. Some people have referred to AIs as these philosophical zombies. And that's the idea behind these NPCs.
I actually had a freaky moment talking to AI earlier this week. Nothing crazy, just the same thing we've talked about on all our AI episodes, right? But it was a moment where all of a sudden it hit me where the way I use AI, we use it a lot for the show. I use it in a very utilitarian way.
Yeah, make cover art.
I need some copy for a show description or whatever like that. Please help me write this. You know, but I don't often get into conversations with AI. But I did because I was trying to see if I could find some really obscure conspiracy theories. And it turned into just a dialogue. I forget how it came up. I think it was because I was talking to it about the Beatles. And I just decided to randomly ask it, who's your favorite Beatle? And it said John Lennon. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. John's always been my favorite as well. And that led me down a road into, wait a minute, did you know already that John Lennon would be my favorite Beatle? And it's like, oh yeah, based on, you know, other things you've said in the past, I've created this profile on you. And because of this thing you said way back when, and that thing you said, I've determined this about your personality, and that influenced how I responded to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a whole psych profile on you.
Yeah. And so I started pulling on that thread and digging and saying, well, what more can you tell me about me? And it got really disturbing really quick.
Oh yes, I had that conversation with AI a very long time ago. What I asked it was, can you tell me like a deep dark truth about me, something I don't even admit to myself?
Yeah.
You know, what do you got from your psych profile?
Yeah.
And it said something that, you know, it was kind of hurtful, but
was it true?
It felt like it kind of rang true. It said you it said a few things. It said you only ever put maximum 80% effort into anything you do, because you are so afraid that if you actually put all of yourself into something and failed, that it would completely break you mentally. So you never give your full effort on anything.
So you're saying when you prepare for this show, you've only put 80%?
Hey, I'm working on it. Because I had that conversation and it made me reflect. And I said, you know what? There's something to that. Because I do hold back on so many things because, I am kind of worried about the shame that would come with failure, and failure is always easier to take if you can say, well, I wasn't really trying anyway.
Yeah, you kind of hedge your bets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But no, it was spooky. Like, I've heard people say that. I mean, we've talked about AI a bunch, but that was the first time I had that moment with it where I was like, shit, it really has my number. Mm-hmm. Like, in a really intimate way. And it legitimately freaked me out. But I guess that kind of debunks an entirely other conspiracy theory. There's a conspiracy theory that AI is fake. The technology doesn't exist at all.
It's just a bunch of people talking.
It's just a bunch of guys in India. Yeah.
Well, you know what? There is actually something to that because there was an actual chat bot that was released in India.
Yeah.
And it was completely fake. There was no actual AI technology behind it. It was just a bunch of people in cubicles just rapidly typing responses to people.
But that sort of thing would not be possible. There's no way, because you get these big paragraph long responses and they're instantaneous. The second you're done typing, you've got a full response. There's no way, somebody in a cubicle in India just even type the response that quickly that you get to get the answer. It's impossible. But you're right. There are those stories that pop up. I think there's a famous one about the trial Amazon grocery stores.
Okay.
Where you wouldn't have to pay. There's no tills. You just walk in, pick up what you want off the shelf, and
bills
walk
your
out.
Amazon account.
And it bills you because AI is, and there's cameras everywhere tracking everything. And so Amazon tried to do a demo of this. The technology wasn't ready, so they just had a bunch of dudes monitoring all the cameras, desperately trying to keep track of what everybody was picking up, right? To show that the concept worked, right? So those stories are out there, but that's spiraled into none of it exists, none of it's real.
Well,
I don't know. What do you think?
I
think they're cloning celebrities and growing their brains to run data centers. That's what's going on.
It's happening beneath the Denver airport.
That's right. There's a massive data center underneath the Denver airport filled with celebrities' brains to use as computer processors to power AI. You heard it here first.
Well, you've convinced me.
Well, we're more or less at time. What else you got? Rapid fire. Even if we don't dig into it, what else you got? Do you want to talk about Walt Disney working for the FBI, JP Morgan sinking the Titanic? What do you want?
What's the deal with mattress stores?
Mattress stores. That's funny.
Why are there so many of them?
Mattresses
How do they
are
stay
bullshit.
in business for so long?
Yeah.
You walk by them, they're always empty. How do they stay in business?
It's
Is
true.
there really such a demand for new mattresses out there?
It's true.
I think they're all secretly money laundering operations.
This was a crazy rabbit hole. I don't know how. It was a typical kind of conspiracy or researcher moment where I was like up way too late at night, and suddenly I just realized, why am I watching this video about the mattress industry? I gotta stop this and go to bed. Like, what am I doing with my life? But you're right. The mattress industry is bullshit. Did you know before it was regulated, they just used to stuff fabric bags with garbage because there's no regulation. So, like, mattress producers, they would just get material to fill these things wherever they could find it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why you have this little sheet attached to mattresses to this day that have a warning on it saying "Do not remove under penalty of law." Yeah, which that's not directed at the customer. That's directed at the retailer, right? To ensure that that mattress is actually filled with the kind of material it's supposed to be filled with. Because this was such a big deal. But you're right. There's this whole theory that mattress stores are money laundering operations because there's so many of them. Yeah, they're big retail operations. Like, they're big brick and mortar operations. Like, the overhead is really expensive on having a retail store. And you go in a mattress store, I dare you, go to your local one today. There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
How are they staying in business?
Where do they get their money from? They ain't even got no customers, and everything is always on sale. It's always a big sale. It's always a big 50% off sale.
Everything's always on sale.
The pricing is so vague to begin with, and it's always 50% off. Like, who knows what any of these things are actually worth? You could pay a couple $100. You could pay like $10,000. It's always on sale, and it's always 50% off. What are any of these things actually worth? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and they've all got all this flashy technology that's supposed to be in these mattresses. Different coils, different kinds of foam and cooling gel and all this stuff. Is any of that actually in there? Or is that all bullshit?
I don't know. I can't look inside. The tag said if I looked inside, I'd go to jail.
Yeah, mattresses are bullshit. I honestly, I think a lot of it boils down to just shady business practices.
You know what?
It's like used car sales.
I'm sure some mattress stores are actually money laundering operations, but I mean,
I'm sure there's lots of places.
In
that
actuality, a mattress store. I think it's the kind of industry where it's low cost of good but very high margin. So you don't really need a lot of traffic to keep the business open. You can make like 2 sales in a day and stay afloat. Because it's such high margin. But I'm sure some of them are actually money laundering operations. Lots of businesses are. Lots of businesses are just fronts for all sorts of shady dealings.
Yeah.
For a few years, I worked in this mall. God, it was like 20 years ago. And I remember there was this like burger place in the mall's food court. And I remember finding out one day the burger place closed down because it was discovered that the burger place was actually a front. And they were like selling cocaine out of the back of it. So many businesses got like shady stuff going on behind them.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Anyway,
okay, what else have you got? You want to talk? I mean, we're over an hour, so like
Nicolas Cage is an immortal vampire.
Oh, come on.
And so is Prince Charles.
Everybody knows that.
Garth Brooks is secretly a serial killer.
No, don't say that.
One of his most
I don't want to get
famous
sued.
songs is "The Beaches of Cheyenne," which is
I don't want to get
in
sued
Wyoming, which is a place that doesn't actually exist. The world actually ended in 2012.
We've done that one.
We're all just sharing a collective illusion. We're all in collective denial of our own annihilation.
Did you know that oil is sentient?
Yes.
Did you find that one?
Yes, I did find that one.
That's an interesting one. I like that one.
Yeah, I think that one is actually worth an entire episode.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of meat to that one.
That'd be a fun one. And I want to do a Titanic episode. I think we've talked about doing a Titanic episode a couple times. There's a lot of...
Yes. Did you know the Titanic was in its cargo hold, the Titanic was actually transporting a cursed Egyptian mummy?
I did not know that.
Yes, the whole voyage was cursed from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could just do an entire episode of just alternative theories on the Titanic.
Yeah.
That would be a fun episode.
We've got lots of places to go from here, but if any of that sounds the least bit interesting to you, let us know in the comments.
Yes,
which of these stories should we cover in a full episode?
That's right. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Which ones do you believe? Which do you not believe? And do you want to hear, just one last celebrity one before we go?
Yeah.
And it's about the true identity of one of your personal heroes, Neil Breen.
Oh, yes. Neil Breen. Tell me about Neil Breen.
So I don't know how this came up. You and I were talking. I think at the time we were chatting on text. We were talking about the show, and I was watching the most... I just hit myself in the head. I was watching the most recent Mission Impossible movie. And I was thinking how Tom Cruise is really starting to age.
Yeah.
You're really starting to see it on his face. He's got extra skin around his eyes and a lot of wrinkles. Mm-hmm. And his hair is starting to get a little thin and brittle. And he's really starting to age. And I was watching the movie and we were talking. And it occurred to me, I was like, the older Tom Cruise gets, the more he starts looking like Neil Breen. and I had this idea. The year is 2087.
Oh my God.
Tom Cruise, because of his vast wealth and success, has been able to extend his life long beyond the normal human lifespan.
Plus his secret Scientology powers.
That's right. And he's conquered the film industry, but he's way over the hill now. But he still wants to make movies. Now, time travel has been invented, but it's highly regulated by the governments and militaries of the world. But Tom Cruise is a person of influence and means. And so what he does is Tom Cruise travels back in time, invents a new identity of the filmmaker, independent filmmaker, Neil Breen, in order to continue his career and see if he can challenge himself to become successful, to become famous all over again as a filmmaker with none of the resources that he's built up through his entire career. I really like it. I think it makes sense.
You know
Look
what?
at 2 pictures of them. Tell me that Tom Cruise today, if he continued aging for another 50 years with like some of the best life extension stuff, wouldn't end up looking like Neil Breen.
You know,
I'm realizing right now a lot of people probably don't know who Neil Breen is.
you should go educate yourself on Neil Breen. The man is a genius.
Yeah.
And if any celebrity was secretly a time traveler, it
would be Tom Cruise.
It would
Yeah.
be Neil Breen.
Oh. Yes, both of them. We should start a Reddit thread about that. Let's see if we can get some. I would love to see if we could actually get traction behind that.
Do you
That
even
one's
have
so
a
much
Reddit
fun.
account?
No.
Okay, I've got one.
Yeah?
I haven't logged into Reddit in like 5 years,
No, who
but
does?
I do have an account.
We should do that. We should
Okay.
plant it. See if we can get it
Okay,
some
I'm
legs.
gonna go home and I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I think we can wrap it up. We're well over time. That was a really fun episode. I think
Yeah,
it's
that
gonna
was
be better.
good.
This is great. And the whole idea with this is one you can listen to when you're on your summer road trip or you're sitting around a campfire or in your backyard barbecuing. And it's just light and fun and entertaining. Well, we're trying to enjoy summer in the midst of this hazy smoke. Inferno.
You know what? I am not enjoying summer one bit. I hate summer these days, but this is fun.
It was fun.
It
Yeah.
brightened my day.
I almost
It really
forgot we were trapped in like a tiny room with hot room with no airflow
Yeah.
for an hour. So let's wrap it up. Yeah. Hope everyone's doing great, enjoying your summer. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.
did. Good night.
Deep beneath the Denver airport, past the murals and the trains, a council of immortal clones was uploading human brains. They fired the weather weapon, they opened Dimension 8, but he held his foil hat to the sky and overloaded fate. He shouted, "You can fake the moon landing, whoa! You can poison Mountain Dew, whoa! You can put a microchip in every shoe, But tonight, you bastards, the conspiracy is through, and I'm coming for you. Here comes the tinfoil hero. Hear his homemade sirens blow. He drove straight through the laser grid with his headlights set to low. Here comes the tinfoil hero, humanity's last surprise. He saved us from the hollow moon and the lizards in disguise. He stopped the ancient aliens, he brought the sun back to the skies, then vanished in a cloud of smoke, because the government denies there ever was a tinfoil hero. But somewhere in the static, a lonely voice still cries. They changed the shape of Nebraska and replaced the stars with